you with another Humane Education lesson from the Montgomery County SPCA. I am joined again by my friend Monty, one of our education animals, and also some very special little guests. I will introduce them in a few minutes. Monty is here with us after receiving surgery from having his leg removed due to a tumor that he had. So once he was all healed up, he became one of our mascots, and he goes out to many different nursing facilities and schools and enjoys getting scratched like this and sitting on laps. Today I want to talk to you about pet overpopulation. That is a really big word, but it just means that more pets are born each year than there are homes for them to live in. Do you think everyone wants to have a pet in their home? In my last video, we talked about how much work it is to care for a pet. Sometimes people don't have the time to care for a pet properly, so they decide not to get one. Other people can't have a pet because they are allergic to them. There are a lot of reasons why people may not want a pet, and that's okay. But many of us really love baby animals, so we might think it would be a really great idea for our pet to have puppies or kittens. The problem with this is that unless we are able to keep all of those animals when they grow up, it can be difficult to find homes. Let's read a story that will help us learn how we can help baby animals who need to find a home. This story is called Caleb's Kittens. I wrote it myself about an experience my family had with a little kitten. The drawings on the pages were created by the children who we will read about in the story. This is the very true story of a little boy named Caleb and his search for a lost kitten. Caleb has had tiny kittens in his home for as long as he can remember. His mom works at an animal shelter where many kittens are brought in who have been separated from their own mother cat. The kittens need to go to foster homes for several weeks because they are too young to be adopted into new families. They have to be big enough and old enough to have a special surgery that will make sure they don't have more kittens of their own. It can be very hard to find homes for so many kittens, so this surgery is important. Caleb loves that his mom brings these kittens to his home to grow bigger and stronger. He is only 7 years old, so he can't volunteer at the shelter himself, and this is a great way for him to help animals in need. He helps feed them and clean their kitten cage, and his little sister Emily also play with them and help to make sure they are used to being around people. After a few weeks at his house, Caleb's mom takes the kittens back to the shelter where the veterinarian performs the special surgery, and then the kittens get to go home with new permanent families. Caleb's mom brings home a new litter of kittens right away, so they have a whole new batch of little furry friends to care for. One of Caleb's favorite things about kittens is how soft they are. Caleb is a super awesome kind of kid who really loves all things that are soft. He hates scratchy or tight clothing. He also doesn't like loud noises. Kittens are so soft and quiet, so they are great little buddies for Caleb. Caleb sometimes gets too excited about things and can be rough, but he has learned that he needs to be very gentle with little kittens. He does a great job taking care of them. The best thing about Caleb is that when he loves something, he really loves it, and he really loves kittens. One time, Caleb's mom brought home a single black kitten named Scotty. Scotty did not come to the shelter with any brother or sister kittens. Emily was playing with Scotty while Caleb and his mom went into a different room for just 1 minute. When they came back, they discovered that Emily had lost track of Scotty. Caleb and his mom began to search the entire house. Caleb got his flashlight and searched under every bed and in every corner. Caleb's mom searched the basement, where there are a lot of hiding places a small kitten can fit into. Even Emily helped by looking under the couch. Caleb's mom was afraid that Scotty had somehow gotten outside when Caleb let the dogs out of the yard earlier. It was dark outside, so Caleb's mom called Caleb's dad, who was working as a police officer. His dad and another police officer came to the house and searched outside with Caleb and their flashlights. Everyone was desperate to find the little black kitten. Caleb and his family were so upset. They knew how important it was to take good care of kittens and how easily they can get hurt. The search went on until every possible spot in the house and the yard was checked, or so they thought. Just as Caleb's mom was about to call the shelter to tell them Scotty was lost, something amazing happened. She saw Scotty's eyes flash in the reflection of the TV cabinet. Scotty had been hiding there the whole time, watching everyone searching for him in a panic. Caleb, his mom, Emily, and the police officers were all so relieved to have found little Scotty and laughed at how silly Scotty had been. Caleb learned that day how important it is to keep a very close watch on little kittens when they are so young and small. He also learned never to trust his little sister to be a kitten sitter. Scotty grew up and got that special surgery from the veterinarian and found a permanent home. Caleb and his mom still work together to take very good care of all the tiny, soft, quiet kittens. Would you like to see a picture of the real Scotty? Here he is when he first came home with us. And here he is with his friend Emily, who lost track of him. When cats and dogs have litters of kittens and puppies that their families can't keep, they often end up at the animal shelters or even out on the street with no home. That is why it is so important for your family to make sure your pet gets the special surgery that Scotty and the other foster kittens received in the story. This surgery is very safe, and the animals usually recover very quickly. If you love puppies and kittens, a great way to spend time with them is by fostering them from an animal shelter or rescue group, just like Caleb and his family does. This means that you can care for these baby animals until they are old enough to get a surgery themselves and then get adopted. These kittens here are waiting to get a little bit older before they can have their surgery. They need to weigh 2 pounds first so they can have a few more weeks to go. It is always best for them to spend that time in a foster home instead of growing up in a shelter. That's why foster families are so important. These kittens are lucky to have their mom cat here at the shelter to help take care of them. But usually kittens come to the shelter without a mom. If they are really young, they may need to be fed from a bottle. Taking care of foster kittens can be a lot of work, but it is also a lot of fun. You need to make sure you have a safe place for them, like a spare bedroom or bathroom, or even just a large dog crate. They are so small that they shouldn't be running freely around the house. They need to be fed, cleaned, and played with every day. That will help them to grow up to be great pets for whoever decides to adopt them. We love playing with foster kittens at my house, and that helps them how to learn to be around people. We'll see if this kitten wants to play. This one wants to explore, I think. Usually when kittens come to the shelter, there are a lot of them like this. But Scotty was there all by himself. I think these ones are a little bit nervous and maybe want to go back with their brothers and sisters. We can take a look at their cute little faces. What do you think Monty thinks of all these little kittens? To learn more about how you can become a foster parent, contact the shelter manager at the shelter location closest to you through our website at www.montgomerycountyspca.org. Thanks so much for watching this video. Feel free to ask questions in the comments about the importance of getting that surgery for your pet or about fostering litters of kittens. Goodbye!